Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Wednesday, August the 16th, 2023. Welcome. We're halfway through the month now and beyond, and we're plugging away here. I hope you're doing okay. Could make some good money today. Could be an interesting day. A couple things going on here. We're watching this morning. Target shares are up. Target, as we like to say. They came out with lousy numbers. Retail sales were down, but they weren't as down as people thought. Again, on Wall Street, this is these are the geniuses on Wall Street. The numbers were better than projected, and so the stock is up. Here we go again, the same replay again and again and again. It never, ever, ever stops. Investors out there get hoodwinked all the time by these professional dream merchants, of which I used to be one. Look, I admit, I used to be a stockbroker. And we would get news come across our desk that would just be horrific. And we put the best spin on it we could to keep everyone calm. Because in our business, in the brokerage business that I used to be in, you never, ever say anything that will make people take their money out and run away. You want to be a wealth manager, and you want to manage people's money. You don't ever want them to take their money and run and put it on a sofa, into a mattress. You don't want to do that. Wall Street has trillions of reasons why they want to keep managing trillions of dollars. I guess it's billions of reasons to manage trillions of dollars, because Wall Street, all the top brokerage firms, banking firms, investment houses, just Wall Street alone. I'm only talking New York. Forget the rest of the freaking world, which dwarfs Wall Street. Do you have any idea how many hundreds, not dozens, hundreds of private jets are kept at the ready for Wall Street people? You have no idea. You don't live next to the airport. You don't know. When the Masters is on in Augusta, Georgia, how many of these hundreds of jets fly back and forth between New York and Augusta all week long? You got people from New York going down on Thursday and for the day, and then coming back, and then they go down Friday again and they come back. I'm talking commuting. They're commuting into Augusta and out with different staff and clients and friends to see the Masters for the whole damn week. Kentucky Derby, the Indianapolis 500. Name your favorite sport. Super Bowl. How many hundreds of private jets come whipping in to wherever Super Bowl is every year? And a bunch of them come from the Big Apple, people in the Big Apple. So they have billions of reasons why they don't want you to sell your stock. Target today comes out with numbers that are lower than last year. Fact, lower than last year. But they were higher than anticipated. And therefore, everything is fine. There's nothing to see here. There's no problem here. The stock's up 7% this morning. It was up 10% at one point today. It's probably getting upgrades. Yesterday, we had wonderful news from Home Depot with a $15 stock buyback announcement. Wonderful. They're not going to buy a dime of stock back, okay? They're not going to buy back any of their stock. They just said they would, because there's no law saying they have to. Just because you announce a buyback doesn't mean you buy anything back. I've said this before. I'll keep bringing this up. We're down 13 on the Dow right now, 3 on S&P. We're down 15 on NASDAQ. Retail sales seem to be doing okay in the U.S., but I have a suspicion the real problem here is, or the real reality, let's say, is this. Analysts will say on interviews, hey, look at the Target numbers. What do you like about Target? And they'll say stuff like, they've really controlled their inventory levels. They're doing a really good job there. What does that mean in plain English? 2 years ago, a year ago, when we were coming out of the COVID restrictions and everything was opening up, these retailers got caught flat-footed. They had merchandise that were trying to get out of China and Asia into America through container ships. And they were held up because everybody wanted a container ship. Everything was reopening. And so Target and Home Depot, Costco, Walmart, they were bringing in barbecue stuff, patio furniture in the fall. No, you don't do that in the fall. You bring it in the winter for the spring. They were off kilter. They were late. So they had inventory coming in that they didn't need right now versus the inventory they needed was stuck somewhere and wasn't coming out. Factories in China weren't producing Weber barbecues on time and so on. By the way, Weber is made in China now. It's not an American company anymore. On and on we go with the supply chain problems. Now, today, what's happened is Target has managed to control their inventory levels. They've got a really good handle on their inventory levels, which means that instead of ordering 100% of the merchandise they used to order for whatever they wanted, they're ordering 85%. So it's 15% less because they figured this out. The last 25% of the crap we bring in, we have to discount it 80% off to get rid of it. And that eats margins up and we don't make any money on it. And it takes up floor space and warehouse space for the stuff we really want right now on the floor. And with inflation at 6, 8, 10, 12, 15%, depending on where you live and what you want to buy, what they've done is they've raised the prices of their goods, brought in fewer goods to sell fewer items at a higher price. They use less capital to bring in the merchandise. They increase their margins, and they come up with quarterly financials that look absolutely wonderful. And this is a great game as long as you can keep playing the game. If all merchants do it at the same time, it's all great. But the problem is that merchandisers and firms have different profit and debit levels and everything out there. They all have different agendas. And eventually, the game is a race to the bottom. At the end of the day, it becomes a race to the bottom because consumers go into a Target, a Walmart, Costco, and they are thinking of buying a patio set for the summertime. Or soon, some people might want to be buying snow shovels or snow removing equipment. They go in and look at their favorite stores and see the prices of this stuff, and they just crap their pants and go, no, we can't do it. We have to, not this year. Or we're not going to buy the patio set we thought we were going to buy at whatchamacallits. We're going to shop around for a better deal. That is coming because Americans, generally speaking, yes, they've been getting pay raises, but they certainly are not getting pay raises double inflation. There are very few Americans getting 30% pay raises per year for the next 5 years. There's none of that. You hear the horror stories in the media about unions going for big money, but that's not real. Reality is people are trying to catch up for the last 3 years, what they've been losing. People have been getting 1% and 2% and 3% pay raises when inflation has been, as you know, ridiculously high, and they've got their butts handed to them. They're just trying to kind of get that break even. How many people do you know, and how many will you know in the next 6 months, 1 year, who have their mortgage payments going up by 30 to 50%? You are absolutely aware of people in your family, through your workers and pals, of the horror stories that are starting to show up one by one by one. And this is not going to stop anytime soon. 7-8% mortgage rates are going to be the norm. 3-4% mortgage rates are disappearing. You can't get one anymore. So this is coming to a town near you, to a relative near you, to your own situation. Student loans have to be repaid starting next month or whatever. More money out of Americans' pockets. Retailers are going to feel it. This Christmas is going to be god-awful. They don't want to tell you. They don't want to say, but it is going to be really bad. Home Depot, I do not see their numbers looking good. I see Home Depot with wishy-washy numbers into next year because new home sales and whatnot are not going to take off. Who can afford to buy a $1 million house with an 8% mortgage on it? Good luck with that. Okay. We've got a lot of things happening at the same time, as I said earlier. The good news for option writers guys, you really don't have to fear the upside. You have to wonder about the downside. I noticed yesterday the S&P 500 broke through its 50-day moving average. That's a technical thing, and they're talking about, oh, it could go lower. But when they all talk like that, guess what happens? It goes higher. So keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on all of that. The auto workers, they're going on strike September 16th. They're going to walk off the job, and they'll be gone for up to 2 months if they don't get what they want. And they're going to get what they want because the auto companies have no leg to stand on to not pay them. It is a grim situation over there, and I don't pity the auto manufacturers. They've had it great. They've had it fantastic for 20 years. They have had wonderful times. Some have gone under and been regurgitated, and they've been regurgitated in a wonderful way. They've been supported by government, left, right, and center. They are just like the airlines. They suck money out of American and Canadian taxpayers like you cannot believe. If you don't pay attention to this, I can't help you. But Canadian taxpayers and American taxpayers compensate, and with our socialist governments, we subsidize our airlines, our airline builders, our car makers, all kinds of suppliers to the automotive industries. We find ways inside military bills to shelter and throw money at these guys, find a way to ramp them up with a bunch of money. We are a socialist country like you cannot believe when it comes to capitalistic corporations. And the auto industry has thrived on doing this. What Ford wants to do, what GM wants to do, what the Chrysler people want to do, is they want to keep doing what they've been doing the last 15, 20 years. It's simple. You don't make the parts for the car, the truck, whatever it is you need to make. You don't make those things in America or Canada. It's too goddamn expensive to do that. So you piece it off to secondary suppliers. Then you have these outfits who are, Canadian and American based. Yeah, right. They have offshore contracts in China, Indonesia, the Philippines, South Korea, Mexico, elsewhere, and third world countries to make parts for vehicles that go into other parts. In other words, components are produced, okay? Speedometers and tachometers and generators and starters and all the parts of a car, all right? More and more and more and more of these are not made in North America. They're outsourced through secondary factories around the world. Who is the master of secondary production? Who is the master of producing products overseas and importing it into America and selling it at top retail prices? I've told you this a million times. You ought to know by now. I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you a little hint there. There's a little logo there that you might recognize. I don't know. You understand that logo there? No, it's not a peach. It's an apple. These guys are the masters of producing product in a secondary country, China, and now India, and importing this into the United States and Canada and selling it to us at first world prices and pocketing an absolute fortune. These guys. And the car companies want to be just like these guys because these guys want to come into the auto business. Do you think that an Apple car is going to be made in America? What, are you out of your mind? There's no damn way an Apple car is going to be made in Canada. Why hasn't Apple produced cars already? Because it's been politically difficult to sell the notion to American politicians to allow an American-based company out of California to produce cars in the third world and have them imported in the US and called American cars. That's why. Look at your Teslas. Those of you driving a Tesla, I love Teslas. You know I love Teslas. How many parts of a Tesla are USA made? And how many parts of a Tesla are not USA made? More and more from the outside. America is an assembly plant, final assembly. That's all. So you can call the product an American-made product and get all the subsidies that the governments stupidly hand out. Cities hand out subsidies, counties, states, the federal government. The American taxpayer is a taxpayer of a city or a town. An American taxpayer is a taxpayer of a county. An American taxpayer is a taxpayer in the state they live in, and they're a federal taxpayer. Americans pay taxes to every level of government that they have looking after their needs. Now, if it's snow removal in Cleveland, that makes a lot of sense. You'd pay the city of Cleveland taxes so they can hire buy plows, and drivers to clear the streets of snow. Damn good idea. You want to have the roads department paint the white lines and the yellow lines and the don't turn left line. You want the lanes and roadways looked. That's a good idea. But what governments also do is they get sucked in completely, hook, line, and sinker by hired guns in Washington, in state capitals and cities, consultants who suck in these governments to give subsidies to free enterprise corporate American companies. That's what they do. And Americans get hoodwinked and Canadians get hoodwinked every single day that it's in our national interest to do this. So how many times in the last 30, 40 years have American airline groups received federal government money, free interest rate loans, non-repayable loans, grants, super subsidized loans to stay alive? How many times have auto companies been saved from the wrecking ball or from the bankruptcy court, or gone bankrupt and then been resurrected with federal money, state money, provincial money, federal Canadian money, federal American money, and on it goes? You think this is a North American thing? Think again. In Europe, governments are experts at being partners with business. There's just a big difference in Europe between European governments and their businesses versus North American governments and their businesses. North American governments and their businesses hand money to corporate America and corporate Canada with virtually no strings attached. And guess what ends up happening? The executives of these entities are the best paid on the planet. They are sitting on stock options like you can't believe that are mega generous. They get wonderful bonuses every year for mediocre results. And they are under no obligation whatsoever to look after their employees, especially through unions. Their job is to crush them. In Europe, the government and the unions are a team because the government has figured something out. Chief executive officers of car companies and other factory owners, they number in the thousands. Union members number in the millions. And there's a guy over there, Venkman. You remember that guy, Venkman, Dr. Venkman, who went up to the mayor and said, "Lenny, you're about to save the lives of millions of registered voters." You remember that line? You know where that line's from. In Europe, the governments over there know that if they can keep the unions happy, they are keeping millions of workers happy and their families and their relatives. And we're talking about factories who've been in business for 100 years, with generations of people through these factories with long memories. No government would dare to fight the unions in Europe. Maggie Thatcher tried it in the 80s. Worked for a while, and then it didn't work anymore. In Europe, government helps business by working with the unions as well. And so that way union workers share in the upside when a company is, quote, saved, resurrected, and bolstered. The United States politicians are bribed by super PACs to help them get reelected every 2 years or 4 years or 6 years, depending on what you're running for. And in Canada, it's federal elections whenever they're called, provincial elections, and so on. Politicians in North America are in the back pocket of super PACs and corporations through all these consultants, okay? The consultants make it abundantly clear to politicians in North America, play ball with us or we don't play ball with you. It's as simple as that. And they fall for it every damn time. It's incredible how gullible and how easily bribable North American politicians actually are. Right to the top. right to the top. The almighty dollar rules. The right decision for the country is not the number one decision to be made. It's the right decision for the politician at that time. That's where it's at. So the Auto Workers Union is in negotiations right now with the auto industry for a new contract. And all you hear are, oh, the auto workers are looking for 40% pay increase. Those greedy bastards. Yeah, it's a 40% pay increase over 4 years. For the last 4 years, they've been given a 3% pay raise. 2 of those years were not inflation protected. They lost to inflation. The first 3%, the next 3%, they were kind of hanging around because they had given concessions to the auto business, the auto companies, 4 years ago to keep them alive and keep them rolling under the guise that we're going to go to business. Great 4 years for the auto business. The auto companies have made a ton of money, and the top executives of these entities are wealthier than you can imagine. Now the union's saying, great, well, we helped you. Now it's time for us to get help. And the auto company's going, oh, no, we can't afford it. In these times of economic turmoil, we can't do it. There's always that argument. In this day and age, everyone says that line, and they've been saying that line for 150 years. In this day and age, we can't do that. The unions are going, we don't believe you. We dare you to shut down your plants. We dare you to go to business. We dare you to walk away from America. You're not walking away from America. Ford can't make F-150s fast enough. An F-150 fully loaded, GMC Denali fully loaded Tahoe truck, whatever, these grotesque, ridiculous vehicles that have no utility whatsoever in them. They are purely urban vehicles for well-to-do middle-class Americans who are riding V8 monster trucks that have no business riding whatsoever. These trucks will never see a bale of hay in their existence. These vehicles are netting out Detroit 20 grand a truck, net profit. And the union is going, we want a piece of that. It's time for us to be paid because we have these introductory level wages and then the secondary level and the third level. Our top UAW workers, which we're running out of, are getting this $35-40 an hour. Back in the 60s and the 70s, the kind of wages we were getting then would be equal today to $80 to $100 an hour. These unions have given back a lot, but it takes far fewer people to make a truck today than it did 40 years ago. Even though as complicated as trucks are, it takes fewer people. Well, there's a good reason for that. Because in Detroit, they don't make the truck anymore. They assemble the truck. They don't make it. And so the trucks are made by secondary companies and third string and fourth string companies overseas. So much of it is overseas. The smallest parts are not produced in America. The materials are not American. The steel isn't American. The aluminum, the copper, the whatever, it's not American. It is Chinese. It is South Korean. It is Mexican. It is somewhere else other than USA made. But politicians, they consider an F-150 to be an all-American vehicle and a GMC truck. And on it goes, on and on and on it goes. The hoodwinking continues, and they don't want to stop. The Detroit boys want to get a deal done with their unions as cheap as humanly possible to eliminate them from existence as much as possible because they're a nuisance. They cost money. And if they can produce more and more of the vehicles overseas and then bring them in and do final assembly, that would be great. If Ford could bring in the F-150 from Mexico, all built except for its wheels, and just have the tires put on at the factory, and they could call that an American built car, built truck, that's the win right there. Because you only need a couple hundred union guys to do all that. And now you can distribute the vehicle to the dealers. You'll hire more Americans to deliver the trucks to the dealerships than to produce the trucks by Americans. That is the ultimate objective because these bean counters in Detroit are not stupid. They're exceptionally bright. They're incredibly good at what they do. And they figure out the cost of a vehicle down to the tenth of a penny. They know how to produce vehicles at the cheapest possible price. And the answer keeps coming back to them time and time again. Produce as much of the vehicle as you can in third world countries where we pay $1 a day, $2 a day, $5 a day in wages, and have as little of the vehicle produced in the United States, where we have to pay 18 to 40 bucks an hour. As simple as that. It's nothing. It's not personal. They're not anti-American. They're pro-profits. They're Americans. They're Canadians. These people think like they should be thinking. How can we make the most possible money in the rules and in the structure that we're in? Simple as that. It's not personal. The unions are going, yeah, we know. We know you guys want to eliminate us. You want to keep cutting us back. Layoffs, furloughs. You're shutting down plants here. You're blowing off plants there. Yeah, we know the game. And you're getting all kinds of billions of dollars in compensation from the federal government to electrify everything. And now you're claiming that we don't have the money to pay you all these dollars because we're trying to electrify the entire fleet. In the back door, in comes billions of dollars from the U.S. taxpayer at the local, federal level. Same in Canada. The government of Canada, the government of Ontario, the government of Quebec hand billions of dollars to Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chrysler. It isn't just North American companies. It's North American divisions of foreign companies that come in here and suck the taxpayer dry of billions of dollars a year under the guise of creating jobs. We're creating jobs. No, they're not. They're saying that this new factory is going to create 2,000 new jobs. Great. The old factory over in Detroit had 8,000 jobs. We're shutting that one down and we're creating a brand new factory for billions of dollars with 2,000 good paying jobs for America, for Canada. Oh, this is apple pie and hot dogs, man. How can you be anti-American? That's the game that's being played. The American taxpayer is being hoodwinked through its own politicians. In Germany, why would Volkswagen open up a battery plant in Canada and not in Germany? Because in Germany, the government and the union is saying, you're not shutting down our plants in Volksburg to open up a plant in Belgium or somewhere else, because the plants in Volksburg, which is where Volkswagen is headquartered, if I'm pronouncing it right, we subsidized you guys in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. You still owe us. And the companies know it. They can't just walk away. So what they do is they open up new plants elsewhere in other countries using their taxpayer money. So Volkswagen is now sucking the Canadian taxpayer out of billions of dollars to create some kind of a battery plant in Ontario. Toyota has sucked billions of dollars out of Canada, so has Honda, for decades to produce the Corolla and the Camry and other vehicles for North American sales. Toyota and Honda and other companies have sucked the United States taxpayer dry in states like Carolinas and Georgia and others to produce car factories there. Anti-union places where unions are almost impossible to create because the local politicians have been bribed out to make it impossible for the unions to gain any kind of a foothold. What do you think is happening at Starbucks? What do you think is happening at Amazon warehouses? Unions can't get registered, can't get created because corporate American outfits with limitless money and all kinds of consultants are making it known to local politicians that if you allow a union to be formed in Buffalo, New York, or in Rochester, or in Ohio, or here, we're walking. We're going to walk. And the governments fall for it every time. The competition from corporate, the cities of the United States and Canada, the competition of 100 different cities in North America to attract Amazon warehouses and corporate offices. When Amazon said, "Oh, we're thinking of opening up a new 25,000 employee center in whatever," cities were competing against each other with like a blood sport, offering tax deductions and rebates to the corporate guys who are making nothing but billions of dollars. Do you think Steve Bezos flies commercial anywhere? He's got his own private jet or more than one, and same with his top lieutenants. The game continues. It's a wonderful game when you can control the entire board. And that's what's going on. So this market, what's going to happen? Sometimes you have to ask yourself, well, what company is going to make the most money in the next 5 years? The answer to that, the company that bribes the most politicians to be able to be in business, to bribe out the competition, to keep the competition out. That's the name of the game. Today, Intel announced that they were walking away from a merger, a takeover offer of a company called Tower. It's an Israeli-based chip manufacturing company with factories around the world to produce chips. It's a $5 billion deal. That deal ended today for one reason. They couldn't get regulatory approval to close the deal. You're going to wonder, wait a minute, an Israeli-based company being taken over by an American-based company? These two countries get along with each other. The United States and Israel are tight. How come the Intel people, who have the backing of the U.S. government through the Inflation Reduction Act and this chip thing? I mean, Intel has announced some serious factory builds in the United States here. Why couldn't they get this deal through regulatory bodies? Well, they did. They got it through the American bodies. Israeli authorities approved the deal. Everything's fine. European authorities approved it. Well, then what held it up? Well, apparently this multi-billion dollar deal is, many billions of dollars of cash flow per year. 117 million of business is done through China. The Chinese regulatory authorities did not disapprove it. They didn't approve it. The deal was like a 6-month time frame to get approvals from everybody. Plenty of time for all these regulatory agencies to voice their concerns about competition or what have you. The Chinese have not yet completed their review of a merger of an American and an Israeli company with $117 million of business being done in China. And so Intel and Tower have agreed to part company, and Intel is going to hand a check to the Tower Corporation for $350 odd million, the breakup fee that was negotiated between the two parties, and the deal is off. How do you feel, America? An American company can't take over an Israeli company because the Chinese won't approve it. I ask, what the hell is that? What is that all about? This is BS. But that's what's going on. It's all political. There's a war going on. Most Americans and Canadians don't realize what the war is, but there is a war happening right now between the US, Canada, and other countries, and China. There's a war. It's an economic war. It's an intellectual war. The United States is talking about walking away from a scientific partnership with China. The Chinese announced the other day that they're going to allow tour groups to travel again to various countries in the world, including the United States, as a way to sort of appease the Americans with Chinese tourists to, we can maybe give us this, we'll give you that. Canada is not on the approved list. Chinese tourists are not coming to Canada like they were until 2019. Canada has not been approved. Why is that? Because Canada, to a small degree, has had the guts to stand up to the Chinese and say, you're operating police stations in our country. There's like 8 of them across Canada. And inside these police stations, Chinese police stations, you have Chinese nationals who are contacting Canadian Chinese people who have relatives in China, to say to them, we need you to come back to China to talk to your relatives because one of your nephews is, drawing posters about how great democracy is. We kind of need you to come home and talk to him about that. AKA, you come back into China, we arrest you for subversion because you talk to this kid and you're giving him bad ideas and you're anti-Chinese. And they have secret police in Canada rounding up and trying to convince Chinese people to head back home, or we know, where so-and-so is in Canada. This is a former Chinese national that's trying to become a Canadian citizen. We know where that guy lives, that girl, that family. We want you to convince them to go back to China to see their parents because their parents are ailing. And then we'll arrest them when they get there and put them in the gulag. This is what's going on in Canada. Canada has come out and said it. Sweden has said it. Other countries have said this is not a Canadian only thing. This is in the US as well. And yet the Americans and the Chinese are going to allow visitors back and forth. But on the one hand, on the other hand, Chinese won't approve an Intel takeover of another company. It just goes on and on and on and on. I say what Canada ought to do is you're not allowing tourists into our country. We're going to forbid Canadians to go to your country. We're also not going to sell you wheat, rice, granola, barley. We're not selling you anything to do with food. That's what we're going to do because we have lots of food and we have lots of other customers. Let's raise the bar a little bit. We're too chicken to stand up to these bastards. That's the problem. The game continues, folks. There's a war going on. It's economic and it's happening. And there are public companies out there who have no idea how vulnerable they are to getting their butts handed to them. And what blows my mind is how Wall Street analysts are just gushing over all the possibilities for businesses in Canada, the United States, to make all kinds of money in China right now. Starbucks with all their locations, KFC with all their locations, TGX with their locations. There's Prada, there's Coach, there's all the luxury brands, all dying to go into China to do business. The Chinese at any point in time can rule all of these corporations as spies. They could shut them down overnight for whatever reason they want, for political reasons, for psychological, political differences, what have you. And that would mean billions, hundreds of billions of dollars of value erased from existence on the balance sheets of these corporations. And what frustrates the hell out of me is to keep watching how many U.S. businesses are dying to go in there and do business and make money while they can. They're traitors to their own country. My opinion, nothing personal, it's just business. I think anyone doing business over there is a traitor to their country. I'm just telling the truth as I see it. Sorry. If you're upset by that, it's okay. It's all right. It's the way it is. All right. Look, we're down 58 on the Dow. We've been looking for direction all morning. What direction is this market going? Is this just a little blip, though? Because where's the 500-point sell-off? Where's the 2,000-point sell-off? It's just not showing up. We're not getting bloodbath days. We're getting little drips of selling. That's all we're getting. I think the sellers are reluctant. I think the markets want to go higher. They just need a good excuse to do it. Retail sales are not good enough, apparently. There are analysts in Wall Street right now who are saying the shale drilling business in America is the business to get into right now. This is the time to buy into American energy companies because prices of gasoline and oil are going higher and they can make a ton of money. I think they're out of their gourds. I think they're out of their minds. I think what's happening is Americans and Canadians and other countries are learning to become more efficient with their energy usage than ever before. And I do believe 90+% of the world's population, and in particular Canada, the USA, where we gorge on using energy like crazy, I bet you 90% of us deep down inside truly believe we have to be using less of this garbage. We should burn less fuel to make electricity. We should burn less fuel to drive our cars. We should use less fuel to heat our homes or air condition our homes. We should be more efficient with what we have. Just efficiency alone could cut the usage of energy by half. Just efficiency. I think that deep down is the will of the people, but it's not the will of the corporate masters out there who want to keep this game going. And it's not the will of politicians who've been bought off by super PACs to drill, baby, drill, and use coal and just put that soot into the air and produce cheap electricity from coal. These are 1800 technologies that we can take advantage of today, they say. Yep, and just pollute the crap out of the world. I think 80-90% of the world is against these guys, but they are still get reelected. Every 2 years, every 4 years, every 6 years, they're back in office. It's unbelievable. In Canada, too, we have that issue. We talk the talk up here. We walk the walk. Canadians pay record prices for gasoline compared to Americans. We pay much more money. But the reality is Canada is on the bad guy list when it comes to environmental wastage of materials. And this province that I'm in is a clown show. This province is ridiculous because unfortunately, an election was had here 6 months ago, 4 months ago, to bring in the right-wing conservative government for 4 or 5 years, and they are at loggerheads with the feds about how to limit emissions. The games continue, and the economy, the ecology suffers. It is what it is. Ask people in Maui how they feel about climate change. Ask them, because they used to live in an area in Hawaii that was lush with phenomenal shower activity and green growth everywhere. And they've had a drought now the last several years in Maui, of all places. They've had a drought, and now they've had a fire. And this fire was catastrophic, with all the right ingredients came into play. The perfect storm, literally. And we're seeing that in many other areas. Here in Canada, towns are getting eviscerated, getting wiped off the maps here in Canada. Little towns and little communities with forest fires are just taking them out. Unthinkable 20 years ago. Unthinkable. Today, it's the new normal. It's kind of like a 17-year-old white boy walking into a school with an AK-47 and 1,000 rounds. Used to be unthinkable. Now it's just another news story that we have to get used to. Mass shootings. The world has changed. It's nothing personal. It's just the way it is. Anyway, folks, welcome to the happy times. What can I say? We're trying to make money. Is it possible to make money in a market like this? Oh, yes, it is. Option writers, you've been watching and sitting on contracts here on a number of stocks. Those of you with the GameStop shares, if you haven't had an opportunity to do rollbacks, I don't know what more I have to tell you. GameStop's at $19.22 a share, and I can't imagine that a single writer of options on GameStop can't be sitting on profits right now. You've got to be sitting on some serious profits. You should be rolling back and coming into shorter-term contracts. If not, get out of GameStop and go into AI or something else where the option premiums are. Sofi, by the way, we're down 13 cents on Sofi right now, $8.24. I'm not really worried about it. The stock is an absolute dirt cheap bargain. They're going to break $2 billion in gross revenues this year. Into next year, it's going to be over $2 billion a year. These guys are going to become profitable. They're going to become profitable, which means their shares are eligible for purchase by certain ETFs and mutual funds and hedge funds around the world. I'm not talking about New York-based investment houses. They don't matter. I'm talking about European-based investment firms, Asia and elsewhere, where the trillions are. Sofi is going to become a stock that is going to be acquired for 10 and 20-year hold periods by investment groups out there that cannot buy the stock right now. They are not allowed under their own charter to buy Sofi. Sofi has to be profitable first for several quarters in a row, then they qualify. And guess what else is going to happen with Sofi? Do you remember when Tesla was just becoming profitable about 3 years ago? Just when I went on the air, when I was on with you guys, early days, the big story of Tesla in 2021. You remember what it was? They were trying to become part of the S&P 500. Tesla was being held up from becoming a member of the S&P 500 because they hadn't been profitable yet. They had to be profitable for several quarters in a row. Then they did that, and they became a member of the S&P 500. And of course, NASDAQ 100 and so on. They're moving up. Sofi, a year or two from now, will become a member of the S&P 500. Count on it. They're going to become part of the S&P banking index. They're going to become part of other banking indexes that are out there, which means their shares are going to be acquired by institutional investors that mirror the performance of these sub-indexes, banking indexes. Sofi is going to become part of that community. To you, it might sound like a boring little piece of news. For someone who watches the stock closely, this is huge. This is massive, and it's bad news for shorters because these are buyers that don't buy for a flip. These are buyers that hold for a generation, because as long as the stock is part of a banking index, it has to be in the portfolio. This is coming. This is coming for Sofi shareholders. It is happening as we are speaking. I am kind of convinced already that SoFi has already become profitable. They've already turned the corner here. This might be the first month of profits for the company in its history. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because the number of members joining in, the deposit rates coming into that company are massive. The bank is growing at light speed compared to its competition. It's going to become a top 25 bank in the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be that big. It'll be part of the S&P 500 and the 400 and maybe NASDAQ, not the Dow. It won't become part of the Dow for, no, it's not going to happen. However, it doesn't need to be part of the Dow 30 to get to $20 a share. But to get to $50 a share and $100 a share, S&P 500 is the game plan. That's where they're going. Noto knows it. He knows. All the directors know. You think anyone's quitting? Have you noticed an exodus of senior management at SoFi? I sure as hell haven't. I don't see all kinds of people walking out of SoFi in frustration. They're not quitting their jobs. I see people quitting their jobs at GameStop, or I see a quiet mutual parting of the ways of senior officers of GameStop and the company. Yeah, I do see that, and it's disturbing, but it is what it is. Not at SoFi. That's not happening over there. Yeah, I think this is going to be most interesting. That's why I mentioned this stock is dirt cheap, with revenues expected to break $2 billion this year already. They are over $500 million last quarter. The street just doesn't understand. Most of the street doesn't understand it. Or let's just put it this way. The street will figure out how great SoFi is once it is at 25 a share and goes to 30 rather than to 15. When that happens, the street will go, oh, I had no idea. Because they weren't here with us. They weren't watching this show back in August of 2023. They were watching, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Who knows who. In any event, good times coming. Now, I want to say one more thing to some of you, to all of you out there. I want to clarify something, okay? How much time have I got? We got 13 minutes. Okay, so I better hurry up. I love it when you guys send me emails to let me know how you're doing and you fill me in on what's going on. And I'll do my best to kind of respond to you with, well, you could do this, or maybe you could consider that, or, you have choices in your portfolios as to what your next move might be. But I have to mention this as well. And I want to make sure you get the message properly and don't misread what I'm trying to tell you. For some of you out there, you're in this funky little spot where you're not sitting on $5,000 in value, but you're not sitting on 500,000 or more of value either. Your portfolio is in the 10, 20, 50, 80,000 range. A lot of you are in that neighborhood, and you're in that neighborhood because you're trying to get out from a present situation you're in. You're trying to advance your accounts to add cash flow to your life, to change your economic life. You're trying to figure out a way to get rid of a credit card debt, or bring in income from a new source, your account, to replace income from another source that you presently have, which is some kind of a part-time job or a gig, or it might be your partner's full-time job, whatever. You're trying to change your economic scenario for the better because you're trying to be more self-reliant financially and not reliant on the outside world to let you get by. Got it. And you want to make improvements to your lifestyle and vacation more, quit your day job, whatever it is. Great. And a bunch of you are sitting on SoFi shares and you're dying. You're just looking at me going, when, Bruce, when can I really get the payoff? I loved it when it hit 11 something last 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It was wonderful. Oh God, can we just get back to that and go higher, please? And when can I write options, and on and on and on. And I keep talking about managing your money, taking control of your assets and working it. One way to do this, one way to take control of your assets, and one way perhaps for some of you to grow your income level on the outside, not whatever you can do inside your 401k and IRA, great. Build it up, retire more comfortably, fabulous. talking about the money on the outside. I'm talking about investments you folks have that are not inside retirement plans, the kind of capital that you can do whatever you want with. There are a bunch of you here who have SoFi shares. You've got 1,000, you've got 5,000 shares, you've got 10,000, you've got 30,000 shares. Some of you have 50,000 shares of SoFi. You've averaged down. You've done a masterful job, and you're sitting here at 8 something a share, just waiting for the moment that the stock will take this one more run that will take it away from here, break out of Earth's gravity, and be into into a new zone of happiness. I get it. And you want to write options. You want to bring in $3 a contract. And yeah, I'm with you. But it's not happening yet. Okay. There's a couple of things to think about that you could theoretically do. The stock's 825 right now. It's going to be 8 to 9. It's going to break 10 sooner than later, but whenever. What you can do is you can use your SoFi as an ATM. You can use it as a short-term lender for what you need. You can write call options against your SoFi. January 2025. So I'm talking as far out as you can go. $12 contracts, way up there. Okay, stock's 825. I'm talking about $12 contracts. They're paying 175 to 190 right now. Ridiculous, beautifully ridiculous. If you were to be exercised, which you're not, but if you were, you're offering your stock for $13.75. That's what you're doing. If you're sitting on 10,000 shares right now, you could write 100 contracts. In theory, haul in about $18,000 in cash. You could. You could use that $18,000 in cash to buy more SoFi, I guess. Yeah, sure you could. Or you could use that $18,000 in cash to do iron condor work. Start writing on iron condors to be flush. And you will put up at risk maybe 10, 20% of that money per trade. So if you got 18 grand, the most you're going to lose on an iron condor going into an iron condor is like $1,500. You're going to be very conservative with your iron condor writing. You're going to have several positions on several issues as you get comfortable with it. And you're looking to bring in $1,000 a week in premiums or more. What do I suggest you do? What I suggest you do is if you start writing iron condors with this capital, you're going to slowly but surely buy back your calls because it's a loan to yourself. You wrote calls for $1.80. Let's say you wrote for $1.80. You're putting in stink bids at 176, 171. Buy them back 5 at a time, 10 at a time. You make $1,000. You buy $1,000 worth of calls back, and you have those calls in reserve. Anytime you need to write them again, you can write them anytime you want. In the meantime, the stock's $8.25, $8.59, $8, whatever it's doing. These contracts aren't going anywhere. Even if the stock goes to $10 a share, those calls will reach maybe 210, 220, 225. They'll go up a little bit. Of course, your stock just went up $2. These calls will go up 40 cents. You're 160 richer. You don't mind. It's all right. You're utilizing this capital to generate revenue. The revenue you're looking to generate is to pay off credit card bills, perhaps. Maybe the first 5,000 you bring in is knocking off credit cards. Then I'm buying back these contracts. It doesn't matter. It's your call. You decide what to do with it. For some of you, you might look at this and go, geez, Bruce, I hadn't thought of this, but I could write 200 calls. I got 20,000 shares. I could bring in $36,000, $37,000, and I can now do some condor work here that might generate $2,000 a week here in revenues, $8,000 a month. That takes my wife out of the workforce. That stops daycare for the kids. That changes everything around this house. And I'm just writing stock on options on stock I've got that at $12 when it's trading at 8 something. I throw this at you to get you thinking and get you figuring out what you're capable of doing as a manager of your assets. I'm not saying, oh, Bruce has given up on the upside of SoFi. You should just write options now because it's not going anywhere. You're reading it wrong if you hear that. If you're hearing that, you're not listening to what I'm trying to tell you. You have the opportunity to bring in capital, to work capital to make you more money. And you can, when ready and comfortable, start buying back those calls at what you sold them for or even less. Because as each week goes by, time goes by. Sure, if SoFi goes to $10 this afternoon, those contracts go up in value, for sure. But if SoFi doesn't reach $10 or $12 for the next 3 months, let's suppose, that means 3 months of shrinkage will have happened on those contracts in the meantime as well. Time is time, okay? I'm talking Jan 25 contracts for as much cash as you can at the highest possible strike price to borrow against, to make money now on what you can make money on. Whether you're going to do iron condors on AI, or you're going to write cash secured puts on something, or whether you're going to buy deep in the money calls on AI and write contracts on those, whatever you want to do, you do. All right. If some of you happen to have a credit card that is costing you, $800 a month in minimum payments, and you can get your hand on enough dough through your option writing to knock that credit balance off completely and not have that minimum payment, you've just taken $800 a month off of your cost of living. You're not richer in the form of more cash coming in. You're richer in the less cash leaving your pocket. That's a win. That's $10,000 a year in your favor for making this move. Just again, as an example of what I'm talking about. If you can afford $800 a month, or barely afford $800 a month to a credit card, and all of a sudden you have to pay that anymore, you will find that you have $200 a week more money lying around, and you might put that into your investments. And if you do that, you're now building your portfolio. And if you're building your portfolio, you are enhancing revenue and compounding the return from an $800 a month expenditure with capital now coming through that account at an increased rate. It's a win-win-win, okay? I wanted to throw that out to you today to remind you all of this scenario, that you can look into it. Some of you may find it distasteful. Some of you might go, oh, wow, I had no idea. I should really do that. I should look into that. I just mentioned. All right, there you go. That's a little tip on the day. We're opening in 3 minutes. We're down 52 points on the Dow. Nothing much. We're down 7 on S&P. We're down 30 on NASDAQ. We're talking less than 1/5 of a percentage point of movement here. It's very calm. The crude oil price is up 21 cents a barrel. There's nothing going on over there. We're barely hanging on to $81 right now. Welcome to the party, everybody. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to see you. It's wonderful that you're with me today. It's not personal. It's just business. And I love the fact that you're here. Thank you, all of you who are coming in here every single day, saying hi to me from around the world, becoming subscribers of this channel. Thank you, new subscribers. Welcome to the party over here. Those of you who have found that being a subscriber is nice, but you know what? I would really like to be part of the family that this guy's put together. You can become a member of this channel at your leisure, anytime you want. Chilling with Uncle Bruce level or Gold Bagel level member of this channel. We love to have you. We appreciate you so much. Those of you who've been members of this channel for over 2 years, my God, you're the best of the best. You are what YouTube. There are no other channels on YouTube like this one with this kind of loyalty. I don't think so. I know there are other YouTube channels, and there are podcasters, and there are successful, live hosts, and they've got all the graphics and all the shows, and they got co-hosts and everything else. It's great. I'm a one-man show out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I try to tell you in plain English what the hell is going on out there. And sometimes it's not pretty, but you got to know. From this old man's angle, I'm telling you what I know. Now you figured out for yourself. It's not personal. It's business. We're trying to make some money. Welcome, everybody. And thank you, Gold Bagel members, from the bottom of my heart for being here and being part of this gang. You're the best. The best. And I love you. Chilling with Uncle Bruce members, I love you guys. I love you guys. Please become a Gold Bagel member. There you go. Welcome, everyone, to the show and to the program. It's great to have you. Special thank you. While I was ranting and raving, TJ threw up a donation. I'd love to have you on an episode of Wheelers sometime. We talk all things wheel strategy. There you go. The TJ, the wheel deal. You got to send me a private email, man. send me a private email so I know you're legit. That's awesome, man. Appreciate the donation very much, and you never know, maybe something can happen. Thank you guys for being here. This is fabulous. Larry Titus, thank you for the 81st thumbs ups today. Appreciate it. Thank you all for these thumbs ups as they're coming through. Amicus saying, I'm so happy to be here. Frumbler, AI, GameStop going to 15, AI 25, SoFi 7. Which one should I buy? Amy J, number 91, Bruce, number 91. White Feather, I'm 100, baby. Thank you. Dude, number 106. Chris, I'm 108, man. You're at 108 thumbs ups. They're coming in. 114 now have shown up. Thank you guys for these thumbs ups. Very much appreciated. Now 115. This is helping build momentum to the channel. 115 thumbs ups and counting. Keep them coming, guys. We love it. And let's see if we can get you richer today. We're open now. I think Larry Titus is, maybe Larry's rung the bells. I'm not sure. Have I missed the bells from Larry Titus today? No, I haven't. They're right here. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry from Splair. JR, bells, bells, bells. Alberto, I'm here. We can begin now. Thank you, Alberto. Welcome back. I missed you. Nice to have you around. Nice to see you, everybody. Appreciate it. Looks like the Dow is off about 65 to start the morning. We'll see how this all plays itself out. Welcome to the party, pals. It's great to have you all here. Let's take a look at the opening markets and see what we got going on. Are we going to have a nasty sell-off here, or is this just going to be a little, 15-minute hi, how are you? And then we're going to go much, much higher because I think the market wants to go up. Let's find out. It looks like the Dow's only down maybe a point. Let me triple check that. Yeah, we're down 4 on the Dow. Nothing serious at all. Absolutely nothing. We're down 4 on S&P. We're up 52 on NASDAQ. Oil is up 11 cents. The only green thing I see on there, 11 cents for oil. Are you worried? I'm not. Okay. Kind of a flat opening at the moment. Welcome to the party, everybody. And let's see what's going on. Aldi is buying about 400 Winn-Dixie and Harvey's supermarkets in Alabama, Florida, elsewhere, says the headline. Very interesting. Aldi is a German-based company. Very successful, very well managed, deep pockets, experts at low priced goods. Supermarkets in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi for an undisclosed price. 400 stores. Aldi is moving in. Do not be surprised if Aldi becomes a major player in America for food stores, because I can tell you that if outfits like Whole Foods can make a go of it, outfits like Aldi on the other side can make a go of it. And don't be surprised if Aldi has and will have all kinds of house brands that they'll carry at a cheaper price than major brands. Thing I think about when it comes to food is when you see major investors like the Berkshire Hathaways of the world, when these guys buy up all kinds of food brands, and then these like General Foods and Kraft and all these other food companies, whoever owns them, when they buy up small brands that are popular with the public, like spaghetti sauce or frozen dinners or whatever, when that begins to happen for the consumer, it's bad news. Because on the one hand, you've got a major distributor being able to distribute this merchandise across the United States. The bad news is that they don't have any competition to worry about. They can lift prices faster than inflation and make a return on their money. They're business people, okay? They're not doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. They're business people. Anyway, you see an outfit like Aldi come around, and all of a sudden, this is interesting. By the way, Full of a Took, thank you for number 116. Hi, John Anderson. Beach Boy, if Alberto's here, I must be as well to witness the legal proceedings of the beginning. Right on, Beach Boy. Thank you, pal. Uncle Bruce, I've been buying SoFi the past couple of days, averaging 855. Might transfer some more powder to these cheap assets. Right on, man. Bruce and TJ combo would be nice to see, says IR Aaron. Flint Creek, Aldi is awesome. Aldi tells me that there's room at the bottom end. It just shows me that the pricing going up for food overall in the U.S. means that a new player at the bottom end can come in and grab market share. And the way America is going, the standard of living for most Americans is dropping. It's dropping. It's dropping. It's dropping. Cannot keep up with inflation for wage increases overall. Maybe some of the union members here and there win, but as Americans as a whole, they're losing. And American people are dropping their standard of living. It's happening, and it's been happening for 30 years. This is not a last year issue. It's not Democratic. It's not Republican. It's not North state, green state, red state, blue state. Nothing. It is the way it is. And Aldi is figured it out. They're going, oh, hey, yeah, we can open up stores in neighborhoods where the rent is super cheap. We can offer food at super cheap prices. We'll offer a selection of brands, not every single brand, period. We can't do what Safeway does or Albertsons does. No. We're going to have stripped down grocery stores where there's, one or two versions of Alfredo sauce and some noodles and other goods. The shelves were going to be a fraction of what the shelves are at the big grocery stores. Watch this, and it's working. It is working. Okay, let's continue on. Thank you all. Good morning, Brian. Calgary, 34 degrees Celsius today. Hot. Yeah, probably our hottest day of the year. I think tomorrow we're down to 80 degrees, and then on Saturday we're down to 62. It's amazing. Always good to see Alberto and Beach Point. I miss you guys when you're not around, says White Feather. Alberto, Beach Point, and White Feather. It's time to grab that dinero. Yes, sir. JR, it's amazing that a 25% deposit on a cart means Aldi never sends employees to the parking lot to round up carts. Isn't that something? Yeah, you don't see Aldi carts 2 miles away from the store, because if you got a quarter in there, you don't have them lying around. Here in Canada, we have a company called Superstore, big grocery outfit, huge footage. They have carts. You got to put a loonie in there, $1. Got to put $1 coin in to get the lockout to use the cart. You don't see these carts all over the parking lot abandoned. Not a single one. And when employees are sent out to get the carts, they just go and get the carts. They're all in the cart bins because people got their $1 back. At a Costco here, a block away from Superstore is a Costco. They send employees out to all over the parking lot to round up the Costco carts because they're just all over the damn place, because you don't have to put a nickel into it, get a Costco cart. I don't know why Costco doesn't wake up, do the same damn thing, but what can I say? Sorry, SPY jumping right now, surged up to 443.40 just now. Matthew, number 113, good morning, Uncle Bruce. Whenever I do a condor, TD Ameritrade locks the value of the maximum loss. Is this normal? I do not get the value of the credit until the trade completes. Each firm is different. I can't answer to that. I can only say people have been really happy with Tasty Trade. They've been really happy with Tasty Trade. I cannot comment on these other guys. I can't even comment on Tasty Trade. I don't have an account with these guys. I can't tell you. I'm out of Canada, and so I have no idea. But condors are short-term trades. Should be. And if you're doing a 2-day index trade, a 3-day index trade, or a 1-week stock trade, at the end of the week, it all settles out. So shouldn't be an issue. But I don't know, and I can't answer to the restrictions that various platforms might put on you when it comes to potential of rollovers and what have you. I can't tell you. I don't know what to tell you about it. It's not my specialty. I'm not their spokesperson. You'll notice there are no links down below offering you all kinds of deals if you become a member of a brokerage firm. I don't get paid by any brokerage firm to be here. I'm an independent guy. I can say whatever the hell I want, and I have to worry about what they think I talk about. So, there's that too. But Clay, I don't know. Sorry, Matthew, I don't know. JR, a person walks a freaking mile or two in Costco, but can't return a cart 100 feet away. It's incredible. Yes, that's true. Clay, with the SPYs, it's just the Christmas miracle that the put side of my condor was looking for. My 441 is expiring today, and it was getting me real nervous yesterday and this morning, and now we're 443.65, up 76 cents. The Dow's up 140. Looks like we got a bit of a pop going here. I can say the market wants to go higher. I'm telling you, the market is dying to go higher. It needs an excuse. We're sitting now on the Dow up 137. We're up 6.2 on S&P. We're down only 27 on Nasdaq. Oil is up just 15 cents. Okay. Germany's cabinet approves a plan to liberalize rules on cannabis possession and sale. How long is that overdue? 20 years? 30 years overdue? I mean, what does it take? When will the American government wake up? I tell you, if Joe Biden were to bring out a policy right now that if reelected, we're legalizing cannabis across the United States federally, he'd win in a landslide. He'd win in a landslide. All the Republican Bible thumpers will go the opposite direction. They'll get eviscerated by their own people because most Republican seniors use cannabis for medical reasons and everything else. These Republicans will be so off to lunch that Biden will get elected in a landslide. It would add 3 seats to the Senate, and they'd get the Congress back. The other thing Biden could do is to announce no, we're not going to allow countries to impose visa fees on Americans visiting other countries because we're going to eliminate them from our country. So if Germans are coming into America, we're not going to charge Germans a visa fee to come in here as long as you don't charge one to Americans. That would go over huge. What about the border, crossing the border for Americans with goods? Should liberalize that even further. Canada should join the party because in Canada, you bring over $40 worth of crap from America, they want to collect duties from us. Our border guards are tax collectors. They're not there for our safety. They're tax collectors. It's pure BS. Yeah, if Biden were to announce a reduction of the federal excise tax on alcohol and cigarettes, he'd win in a landslide. Give the public what they want and watch out. It would be simple. Anyway, sounds like trading tourists. It sounds like trading tourists. Yep, exactly. Forget about Biden. He's too old. Yeah, let's go with a youthful Donald Trump, that fat fart. Let's bring him back in there and all of his cronies. That'll be fun. Oh, my gosh. There's a lack of leadership in America, isn't there? There sure is. There is a lack of young leadership in America, and it is showing. Wing Commander, I wrote triple Q, Iron Condors, 356, 358, and 272, or 372 and 374. I'm sure that's what that is. They expire tomorrow. Got a 28-cent credit. Q's give enough credit to write wide daily Iron Condors, minimizing exposure in the money. What are your thoughts, Uncle B? There you go. Triple Q's. Right now, 366 is where the Q's are. 366, and he's at 56 to 74, expiring tomorrow. I like his chances of making money. I like it. It's a small credit, but you can write more than one. That's the beauty of this. Wing Commander, almost forgot as I was listening while working here, is a thumbs ups for you, Uncle. Thank you, my friend. Boris, a tasty trade, Iron Condo. They block the full loss and take it from your buying power, but you gain the credit as time passes. Karen, let's get Kennedy in. Oh man, JR is a nice young man. JR, Biden winning on reduction in vice taxes. What a deal. Yep. Legalized marijuana. The politician that guarantees it, I will tell you right now, will be elected. It happened in Canada. It happened in Canada. Trudeau was running for prime minister against Harper, the 2-time winning prime minister. He was going for his 3rd term, and he had a good approval rating. By our guy Harper was boring as hell, but he was winning in the approval rating. Trudeau comes in and says, "You elect me in the Liberal government, I will legalize marijuana in Canada federally." And the Conservatives attacked. Oh, we're going to become a drug country. We're going to have people smoking up on every street corner. Children are going to be exposed to all this marijuana. It's just going to be Armageddon. Trudeau won in a landslide. Yeah, that was fun. Chris, Uncle Bruce, Schwab auto populates the Iron Condor spread. When you choose it, do you think that's a good option to take, or would you recommend setting up your own puts and calls? If you're using index contracts that have 1 penny spreads, you go with this. Otherwise, you've got to be careful if the spreads are 5 or 10 cents on each contract. You got to be careful. Splatter found an article, why Tilray will gain well on that legalization. Clay, RFK Jr. is how I like my presidents. Absolutely pumped up with steroids and completely off his rocker. Home skill inflation and rampant crime are the issues, as far as I'm concerned, of the day. Splair, I think as well, it'll be easy for some people to find the right doctor, at least if they talk to the clubs together. I don't know. Here in Canada, medical doctors will recommend cannabis oil or a cream for your sore elbow or your sore shoulder. They'll talk to you about sleep problems you have, and they'll recommend go to the cannabis store and get some gummy bears to help you sleep at night, take the anxiety out. It is completely 180 different here. Completely 180. It's not even an issue. It doesn't even enter politics anymore. No politician has the guts to try to outlaw cannabis in Canada. Not a chance. You will not get elected here. You haven't got a prayer. And here in walk the cities of Calgary and Toronto, and the biggest problem in Canada for drugs, opioids. Those are the problem drugs. That's what kills. Cannabis, people don't die of cannabis by the thousands around here. It's opioids, and it's scary. It's really scary. Anyway, there you go. Uncle Bruce, thanks, LB. You're the man. Boris, cheers. Beach Boy, Uncle B, you should have a show about writing options with TJ, the wheel deal, and also Hurricane Lopez, Un Loco Ma. That show would be epic, in my opinion. Well, if these folks want to reach out to me, send me a private email. Email address is down below. Let me know. We'll talk. I'll talk to them. We'll maybe work something out. The gummy bears help occasionally against motion sickness if ginger was not enough. Matthew, I opened an account at Tasty Trade. I'm waiting to see if I get full options trading. Right on, Matthew. Yeah, a bunch of people have been doing this here. They've been going to Tasty Trade, and they've been getting level 3 just like that. And they're in business. This is huge. Very important. We're up 175 on the Dow now. We're going higher. SPYs are up 91 cents to 443.80. That's a good move. Higher the better for people here. Triple Qs are down 6 cents. GameStop is down only 7 cents. Sofi is up 2 at 8.39. AI down a penny. Nvidia up 161. Rocket Lab down 2. Matterport is down 7.5 cents. Smart Rent is up 5 cents. But Smart Rent up 5. What else we got going on? Unity is up 6. Tesla down only 143 now. It was down more than that. Apple's up 42 cents. Google down 15. Moderna down 47. Cisco down 9. Pfizer down 18. IBM up 17. HPQ down 2 cents. Microsoft up 76. This market wants to go up. Amazon down 150. Spire down 4/10 of a penny. Home Depot looks like it's up $4 again. Vanik up 27, Netflix down 33, Adobe down 29 cents, Goldman up 50, Boeing up $1.88, Facebook down 186. That's Meta. Target is up 689, 729 on Target. JP Morgan down 8 cents. Costco's up 5.30. Walmart up $1.40. Disney down 27 cents. American Airlines up 25 cents, and DraftKings down 26. That's what's going on some of our favorites that we're watching here. Up 175 on the Dow. SoFi now unchanged, 837. Wants to go higher. And we got Spiders now up 114 to 444.04. Those who have options expiring this week are sitting there going, okay, they're coming back up here. This is good. All right. Okay. What else is going on here? White Feather. My SPY Iron Condor expires Friday with a spread of 437 to 455. I can't thank you enough, Uncle Bruce, for class number 16. I've written them every week since the class. This is what I'm talking about. For some of you out there, you want to write 5 or 10 condors at a time, 15 or 20 at a time. You need $5,000 or $7,000 or $10,000 of capital to write as many condors as you want to write. Very wide spreads like this, conservative. You need cash. You can write SoFi $12 calls to January 2025. Take the $1.70, $1.80 they're handing you. Use that capital to do these. Bring in this cash. And if you're bringing in this cash now every week, and slowly but surely you buy, 10% of those calls back on SoFi, that was a loan, short-term loan. You're just buying them back. And you've got those shares in your backyard there, and You can play this game. It's however you want to manage your money. It's okay. SoFi 840 up 3. Mr. Premium of the option. Beach Boy does hurricane right options. Boris, Tasty Trade also has a referral program. Ask for an invite. Help the brothers and sisters out. Lorraine, New York City is stuck with 100,000 immigrants. Biden would not give him a penny. Drew, I've been writing daily. Spider, SPY, Iron Condors, 20-cent contracts. Give plenty of room on both sides. This week, 5 at a time. Next week, 8, then 13, etc. Sequence organic growth. Love this game, says Drew. Way to go, pal. I can't pronounce another one. Nice going, man. Well done. And that's the name of the game. Get comfortable. Figure out your comfort range and go. Here we are. Yeah, 443.84, 165-point gain on the Dow. We started with a bit of a dip going into the market. Now we've got a little pop here. Home Depot and Chevron are the leaders today. There you go. There it is. And that's the name of this story. We're up 36 cents now on the triple Qs. GameStop is green, 1 penny higher. SoFi up a nickel. AI up 13 cents, 32.42. NVIDIA up 2.76. The market is going green. There you go. U.S. stocks struggle for direction ahead of Fed meetings. I don't think so. I don't think they're struggling at all. I think they're going higher. The Fed meetings get released, I think, later today from a couple of weeks ago. Shouldn't be any surprises there. The market is not afraid of the minutes from 2 weeks ago, it looks to me at the moment. Very interesting. Charlie, how you doing there, pal? SoFi isn't paying good premiums for Jan 12. Would you still think it's good to write it with the belief it's going to be profitable? Well, 12th of January, 2025. I'm talking 2025 contracts. Make sure you're watching the ones that I'm watching. I'm showing, let me take a look here. Jan 2025 SoFis. There we go. 181 to 184. That's $1.85 a contract for a $12 contract. That's good money. That is really good money. I mean, in theory, you could buy stock right now at 838 and get $1.80 back right now. That's more than 20% of the price of the stock. You're taking $1.80 off of the 830 price. You're buying that stock for $6.50 a share. That's your cost base, $6.50, and you're offering it for $12. I'd be delighted to be taken out with a $6.50 cost basis and being taken out at $12. I'd look at that and go, yeah, take me out all day long. I don't think it's going to happen until the stock reaches 13, 14. And I'd love it if it went to 14 tomorrow. Take me out at 12 tomorrow. I just bought it at $6.50. And oh, yeah, okay, I'm a loser. I just got taken out $12 on a $6.50 stock. I'm crying. All the way to the bank, I'm crying, baby. I love it. Home skill, Uncle Bruce. Isn't IV primary driver of premium? Isn't IV primary driver of premium? I don't know. You want to elaborate more on that? Leaving me hanging here. This is easy money. This is money in your pocket, and if you can make more money with this money using iron condors, get at it. Start writing 5 or 10 or 15 at a time. If you're a smaller investor, this is something to consider. I'm just saying. Beach Boy, Mr. Premium, he is all things SoFi and a few others. People on his chat of his said they wrote a bought back, etc., including myself. He gave good feedback. By the way, his insight to open interest mode made me money. Home skillet, implied volatility of the underlying. Great. Implied volatility of the underlying. That can affect premiums. Another way to say it is the market thinks the stock's going to go much, much higher. So I'm going to pay a big premium right now for $12 contracts. That's what that means. I take that dough. Thank you. Matthew, it looks like stocks will go up, but I will wait until the Fed announces what will they do. Matthew, you want to gamble, go ahead. You can go to work right now and not worry what they say. Pukebird, I have been writing ODTE triple Q ICs this month. I've been writing ODTE triple Q iron condors this month. Usually opening when the volume has tempered off for the day at around 11. I can't afford to manage or close the spread because of fees with Thinkorswim. There you go. Boris, I think he means the volatility metrics Yeah, I'm sure he does. Touchgrass, Vega is the Greek that measures an option sensitivity to apply voltage. I don't care. I don't care about all this technical stuff. I don't care. It's irrelevant. You have to know your stock. You have to know the stock or the index you're writing contracts on. And if you are a SoFi aholic like I am, and many on this channel are, you know this stock. You know how this stock reacts. You know how this stock trades. And you know that if you're getting a buck 85 for a $12 call for Jan 25, that is a huge premium on an 838 stock. It's huge. That's all you need to know. That's it. If the stock goes up $2 tomorrow, those contracts will go to 210, 220. They'll go up 30, 40 cents. The stock has to go $2 for those contracts to go anywhere. Would I consider myself a loser if I wrote 100 calls today at a buck 85? I took 18.5 off the deck and I put that to work in iron condos. And tomorrow the stock went to $10 on SoFi and my contracts are 30 cents higher, 40 cents higher. Would I consider myself a loser? No, I'd consider myself $16,000 even richer than yesterday because my stock is up $2 on my 10,000 shares. And I wrote 100 contracts on. I'm 16 grand richer. If it goes up to 12 on Friday or next Monday, would I consider myself a loser because my $12 contracts are probably going to trade at $260 a share, $270 a share? No, because my stock is now up $4 a share. I'm 40 grand richer on my stock, and I've lost 8 grand on my contracts or whatever the hell that is. I don't give a crap. I'm a happy guy. That goes to $15 next Wednesday. Just keeps on going. It's defying all logic. I'm a bigger winner. You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to do a rollover on my contracts. I'm going to buy back my 12s and I'm going to write 15s. I don't care. I'm good. In the next month or two, by the way, there will be June 2025 showing up. There will be March, June, September, December 2025s, and then January 26s will show up. I'll go out there if I have to. If I've written $12 contracts now, I can write 12 or 14 or 15 or 18 or 20s there. I'll do rollovers. Make me rich. I dare you to make me rich. Make me feel bad about myself by making me wealthy. Okay. Dude, be careful. Watch your capital requirement. They won't hold your full cash secured put purchase, but they will adjust if the stock price goes closer to in the money. Stay out of the money and you're good there. Home Skillet says, gotcha. Boris, yes, no need to get too technical. Just check stock history, set the spread, make sure that you stay there, roll if you need to. There you go. Good advice. Everyone is giving great advice today. You weren't reading this kind of advice from people 2 years ago. That wasn't happening here. It's happening here now. Right on, man. This is good stuff. We're up 144 on the Dow. We're up 6 on S&P. We're down 17 on NASDAQ. And we got oil up 27 cents. U.S. industrial output jumps in July on sharply higher utilities output. Okay, well, that's because you need a lot of electricity to get that air conditioning going, don't you think? Every shopping mall, every business, every retail store has to have air conditioning. All the computer systems out there, all those server farms need serious air conditioning. You can imagine how much energy is being used to keep America cool during the hottest summer on what record practically? Canada too. Yeah, I can see that. I can certainly see that. We're up 80 cents on those spiders. We're up 8 on Qs. GameStop is down 6 cents. SoFi is down a penny. AI is down 16. NVIDIA up 210. Just a fine day all around. The market is dying to go higher. Just ready to go. It's loaded up. There's cash on the sidelines. And the cash is asking, do I buy a U.S. Treasury? And do I take 4% interest, 4.2% interest on my money? Or do I go into growth stocks? Should I pick up AI shares, for example? Can they go up more than 4% this year? If I buy a 10-year Treasury, I get 4.22% interest on my money. Is that where I want to go? Currencies are kind of flat right now, 127.4 on the pound, 109.1 on euro. Where should I head? And where should I keep my money? European markets down a third of a 0.4 of a percentage point on London, but Germany is up 0.15. France unchanged practically. There's not much going on there. The Dow up 118, SP up 5.6, oil up 33 cents. Yeah, what should I do? People wonder. Should I put my money into bonds, or should I put my money into stocks? What can give me the biggest return on my money? It's nothing personal. It's what I want. I just want to make money. There's nothing personal. I'm just trying to make money here. What should I do? Okay. To me, I think the potential is stocks, but you've got to pick your place. You've got to pick your spots carefully. It's not just every little thing, but definitely iron condors are something they'll definitely look at if you get a nice wide range worth your while. Rocket Lab down 6, by the way. Sofi down 3. GameStop is off 16 cents. Matterport down 6.7 cents. 23andMe down a penny. Spire's up 4.5 cents at 67 cents. ATIP down 22. Smart Rent is up 9 cents at 350. We got Apple up 32. Goldman down 41. Cisco down 22. Tesla down 27 cents. Arc Innovation is down 31. Microsoft is up 8. Pfizer down 14 cents. HPQ down 24. Google down 42. Amazon down 124. Nvidia down 47. Unity down 19. AI is down 39, 40 cents. Adobe's up 78. And the spiders are still ahead 34 cents. This is the sell-off right now coming in, but hardly devastating, really. We're just not getting a massive get-me-out-of-town sell-off at all. Going to be an interesting day and week coming up for sure. Iron Condor creators, way to go, you guys. You're having fun. All right. Yeah, are we on top here? I was at a state. I was just working away, and Uncle Bruce said, "Right, covered calls on SoFi." Yeah, look, use SoFi as a bank. As I've said before, the kind of clients I'm talking about, the viewers that I'm trying to talk to you about, are these viewers that have 10, 15, 30, 50,000. You don't have a $500,000 going. You don't have 60 options going. You don't have that kind of power. You're trying to build some cash flow to add revenue into your household. You've been waiting for SoFi to give you the big payoff. It hasn't happened yet. You're trying to make something happen. Well, if you want to get into iron condors, you can sure use your SoFi as a tool to get your hands on cash. And you can look at writing Jan 25 $12 contracts, $1.80, $1.85 a piece. You're selling at $13.80. You're offering your SoFi at $13.80. Would you be happy with that if that happened tomorrow? I think you would. Take the dough now, get into iron condors, build some cash flow, take care of expenses around the house, or add to your income level, or use the cash to buy back the calls you wrote to do these positions in the first place, and keep on going. Up to you. Option Nomads, number 139, thumbs ups here. Thank you. Wing Commander wrote another set of iron condors on triple Qs for Friday. Wider spread for 33 cents. There you go. There it is. This is the secret to iron condor success. Wide spreads, little time frame, credits, right multiples. And away we go. This is the name of the game. SoFi 832 down a nickel at the moment. The Dow holding 96-point gain right now. SPYs are up 14 cents. There it is. That's our story. I'm sticking to it. And then Jen walks in the door just like that. Boom! Auntie Jen is here.
Are you telling stories?
Telling stories. Telling stories.
You know I love a good story.
We love stories.
We love stories.
How you doing today?
Good.
Kind of a warm day today.
Another one. Another couple of warm ones before it cools off and everybody gets put on their sweater.
Yeah. Right now outside it's 62 degrees. Oh, we're sweltering right now. 62. The high today is only going to be 83. Yesterday was 93. We're going to be 83 today. But we are going to get
90. It doesn't cool off at night.
94 tomorrow.
Yeah.
90. That'll be the hottest day of the year.
Shot. Yeah.
Hottest day of the year. Friday 73, Saturday 63, Sunday 61, Monday 68. These are high temperatures. Tuesday 74, next Wednesday 77.
We get back to normal. Yeah.
We're out of here next Tuesday. 74 when we leave next Tuesday. No problem at all. Not an issue. We're going to get into London, and we're going to be looking at weather in London next Wednesday of 82 for the high.
See?
Thursday, 83. Friday, 83. Mainly sunny all 3 days. That's London. Giddy up, everybody.
It'll be awesome.
Welcome to the party, pals. Welcome to the party,
Welcome
everybody.
to the party.
Yeah, babies. Welcome.
So what's happening today?
Um,
Europe up, us down. What's happening?
Well. We had Target come out this morning with their numbers, and they were down from last year, but higher than anticipated.
Oh.
So of course that makes the stock go up,
Right?
Because a company that doesn't make as much money as last year in gross sales is obviously undervalued because they didn't go as bad as they were supposed to go.
Yeah, it wasn't just bad, but I mean the other retails have not been doing haven't been shining.
Yeah, we are seeing improvement in Home Depot stock. We're seeing improvement now in Target. The big boys seem to be catching Wall Street's love, but at the end of the day, I watch this closely. I think what's happening is that they're bringing in 85% of the merchandise that they had a year ago. So they have less on the shelves. They don't have to discount as heavily. They're raising prices for inflation, even though not all these items cost them more.
And it could be they're selling stuff that has been on their shelf longer than normal, and they're finally getting cash back on it.
No. What they're doing, the analysts are saying, they're really managing their inventory, which means they're being very careful of how much they bring in.
Right.
And so they're bringing in less, raising the price, increasing their margins, and when they get down to the last 10% of their merchandise, they have discounts on it, but the discounts are 25-30%. They're still bringing in more money than they would have last year when they were 60% off lower prices. They have higher prices, higher margins, and they're performing better in that lower on their sense. Payroll too. But at the end of the day, you can't keep growing the company this way. Eventually, this comes to bite you. There's to the point where you price yourself out of the market. Your consumers rebel and go, "Ooh, well, can't afford that. I only got a 3% raise. I didn't get a 12% raise." The United Auto Workers are going for 10% a year for 4 years. I don't get that. I get 4%, and I can't buy that swing set for my 35 hours
a week.
Yeah, and I can't afford a swing set for my kid. That's going to run $450. No, thank you. Have some of you people gone out there to take a look at how much it costs you to go to Disneyland or Disney World or Universal Studios lately? Have any of you lately took a look at this? Have you had sticker shock as to how much that will run you?
Well, especially when you come from as far away as us, because you've got the airfare,
the taxes and duties and fees that we have to pay to cross the border,
and
security.
Then if you got a couple of kids, well, now you do one vacation a year.
Every 5 years. Yeah, there are people who are looking at, wouldn't it be nice to take the children now that they're 8 and 9 and 10? Why don't we go to Disneyland? It's been 4 or 5 years. Wouldn't it be great? And they take a look at hotel rates. They take a look at airfare. They take a look at park passes. They don't even know what the prices inside the park are. And they're blown away. They can't even get to the damn door. It's just out of sight. Yeah. And Disney is not making money. It's unbelievable. Scary stuff.
It's pricey.
It is really
definitely pricey for a family of 4.
Definitely. It's out of this world expensive.
The only people who are going are your people, because they're making money every week now.
Well, the kids here. The kids that hang out with this.
Kids are okay.
The 187 kids that are here right now are rolling in dough.
Johnny can read.
Johnny can read. They're the Albertos of the world, the Wing Commanders, the Maria Powells of the morning, the Larry Titus of the show, White Feather, Boris, Home Skillet, Dude, Puke Burb, Touch Grass. These are the wealthy ones. These are the folks that are making the dough. You can go to Disneyland anytime you want.
There you go.
Heck yeah. Next year after, they're going by private jet.
Yeah.
They're going to forget all about me.
Right.
5 years from now, they're going to be sitting back talking to their best friends about how they became incredibly wealthy, and they'll say, "I'll never forget what's his name. He was something else. He taught me things."
No, I just figured it out.
I just figured out what was his name again? That guy. Was all he was all skin, no hair. That guy.
Skin.
The face for radio. I'll never forget what's his name. I'll never
That's right.
ever forget him.
Face for
What was his name
radio.
again? Yeah. There you go. So,
Yeah.
Auntie Jen, what's happening in your life today? What are we going to be? What's in
I
your
am
world?
going to go shopping with our daughter today,
Going shopping today?
this afternoon, and just see how she's doing. She's had a couple of friends going to the hospital in this last couple of weeks, and so she's looking around. Where's the third one?
What's happening?
What's happening? Who is it? Who's it going to be? How do you feel?
She's not 22 and 24 anymore. She's now 35. And
when you
sometimes-
sneeze and you put your back out.
Sometimes friends end up in the hospital at age 35. What the hell's going on with this aging thing? This sucks.
So yes, we're gonna tell her she's all right.
Hey, Mom and Dad, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
You guys all right? Mom and Dad?
Yeah, that was the conversation
Okay.
yesterday. How you doing?
How you doing?
How's everything?
You okay? You all right? Oh, good. Oh, good, Mom.
Like,
Good, Dad.
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah,
honey?
is Dad okay with his YouTube channel?
What's
Yeah,
going on?
Are his peeps being nice to him?
Everybody
Yeah,
okay?
It's all good.
Yeah, you wait for that third one. You
Kinda
know,
wait,
everything
kinda
comes in threes.
Kind of wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you folks know. You folks out there know. If you hit the 40s and 50s, 60s, you're starting to hear stories you don't want to hear. You never heard these stories when you were teenagers.
You went to bed fine and you woke up in the morning with the neck.
My best friend is in the hospital. Yeah, my best friend is not feeling well. My best friend had this happen to him.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this isn't right. It doesn't
Didn't do
happen
anything
here.
wrong and broke out in hives.
Yeah, what the hell is
What's
that? Oh my gosh. We got folks here saying hello here. We've got what do we got here? Just a minute. Good morning, Jen from Larry Titus.
Good morning, Larry.
We've got
Good
Maria
morning,
Powell. Good morning, Auntie Jen.
Good morning, Maria.
Option Nomad says this week we have an iron condor position on SPY. The puts are 429.30 and the calls are 454, 455. We wrote 100 of them.
Oh, there you go.
Now we're talking. Now
That's
we're
it.
we're coming. Here we
You know
go.
what that is? It's Disney money.
That's Disney park money.
That's
we can
Disney
go
money.
to Disneyland with these kinds of profits.
That's it.
SPY
We're gonna make our
440.
own movie.
We're just approaching 444 on SPYs, and we've got a 429 to a 455 spread. There you go, and
See?
there it is.
Ain't nothing
And I
wrong
don't
with
think
that.
these last long. These aren't going to last long either. These are short termers, I'm sure. Boris, yes, yeah, but how much of target sales are based on inflation? Exactly
Right? Yes.
right. White Feather Option Nomads. Congrats. I wrote 7, hopefully 8 next week. Option Nomads, White Feather, very nice. Forgot to mention that ours expire Friday. Day after
Friday.
tomorrow, they die. Auntie
Right.
Jen
Stay
just
tuned.
bought back 200 AI 35s September cash secured puts for 579 and sold January 2025 30s for 1075s.
Oh,
Please stay. Oh my
I
God.
take it that's Beach Boy
That's Beach Boy.
doing his AI.
He's doing his thing. Drew, good morning, Jen. Charlie, my
morning,
wife is
Drew.
making me take her to Vegas from Option Premium, says
Oh,
Charlie. Charlie,
see?
thanks a lot, Uncle Bruce. Maria Powell, Beach Boy, great job. White Feather, Option Nomads, mine expired Friday as well. Beach Boy,
Nice.
Auntie Jen, just tell what's his name to stop this nonsense. We would never forget him or his name, mostly his rants for sure. Well, I would never forget this
Never
guy.
forget his
Never forget
rants.
what's his name. Home Skillet. Well done, Beach Boy. A White Feather. I'm not comfortable yet holding open iron condors over the weekend.
Well, and then that's why you do it for the week.
Friday. White
You-
Feather. Interesting. I love opening on
You
Fridays.
gotta do what's comfortable
And it
for
works. Whatever works for you is
Yeah.
how you make it work. That's
you. You
the
gotta
name
be
of
able
the
to
game.
sleep at night.
Yeah, we're up again. We're now up 112 on the Dow. We're climbing again. We're up 7 on the S&P. We're only down 4.7 on NASDAQ. We don't have a lot of selling going on here. Oil down 21 cents, though. It's backing off now. It's gone red. There
Did
you
it go
go.
back up yesterday after being down? What's
Oil
that
is
now?
80.78. We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
We are not going
yeah,
anywhere. Well done, everybody. Way to go, Beach Boy. Alberto is making money.
I know.
Folks are here.
It's so great.
Giddy up, man. Giddy up. Gotta love
it's
this.
Real hard to explain how that just makes us so happy. that they're
We're very
learning
pleased.
and they get to really affect their life
That's right. That's right, man.
with just a little bit of knowledge.
You limit your downside,
Yeah.
you maximize your upside, and away we go.
Yeah.
This is the name of the game. Beach Boy, writing $30 cash secured puts and getting paid $10.75. He's willing to pay $19.25 for AI stock. What a nice guy he is.
Nice guy.
What a
Such
nice guy.
guy.
What a super guy that Beach Boy is.
$19.
I'll pay you $19.25 for AI stock. They're going to give him a plaque. Now, this is the kind of guy that gets awards for doing this sort of stuff.
They're going to put a statue in the center of the town.
In the center of the town. This is beautiful.
It's a little hazy out there.
It's all legal. It's a beautiful thing. It is kind of hazy, isn't it? It is what it is.
You guys go make money.
All right.
I'm going to go have a cup of tea.
Yeah, get things started. Yeah, bye, everybody. Thank you, Auntie Jen. Thanks,
have
guys.
A good Wednesday and tonight.
And Prime Time Live with Uncle Bruce at 6 o'clock Eastern. We have 143 thumbs ups in the house. They're coming in again. Thank you guys for the thumbs ups. Appreciate it. Making the money. Oh, my. Just trying to get by in this harsh, cruel world of ours. Oh, my goodness gracious. You got to love it. You got to love it, everybody. Welcome one and all to the party. Great to see you here. And nice to have you come by and spend some time with us here on Traveling Stock Markets with Bruce. Been having a good time on TWB the last couple of weeks. I've been talking on Traveling with Bruce, doing my 8 o'clock live show about yesteryear, traveling in the old days. Oh, did we have fun talking about that the other day? Covered a lot of neat stuff. Popped up a whole bunch of old advertisements that used to be in the magazines of the United States. Traveling back then, it was a different world in the 70s and the 80s, a different world. Quite interesting. We got Clay saying here, since my 441 put spread for Spire is expiring today, I'm thinking to roll over. I'm playing short term 1 to 2 days for expiry. Thinking of moving to a wider spread, 442.39. What do you think? Is that too risky? And Spire right now is 443.64. So you're right in the neighborhood there, going 442.39. If you can move down your put $1, that gives you a little more, protection, of course. On the 39 side, that increases your exposure. But I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to build a credit, larger credit. I totally understand it. I try to afford the shift. I hear what you do. I can't really argue with it. Boris, it's hazy because all the cannabis, which is legal in Canada, that's why it's hazy out there. You see, that's what it is. The funny thing about cannabis, the amazing statistic, is that the users of cannabis, the biggest users of cannabis, are seniors. That's a fact, and seniors use cannabis as for medical needs, creams and oils and edibles to deal with all kinds of ailments, and they don't want to take pills from the pharmaceuticals. They don't want to keep taking these Tylenols or these ibuprofens or all these other drugs that are hard on your liver, your kidney, or your innards. They're going with the cannabis, a natural ingredient. And have been for years, decades. It's been a long time in Canada that medical has been legal. Now it's all legal. But, for some people, they just can't get over it. They can't get through it. But then again, in the 20s and the 30s, there were people who couldn't believe that it would be legal to drink alcohol, which was devastating to people. Then they couldn't believe that cigarette smoking was legal. That was devastating to people. And here we are now with cannabis. And it's unbelievable. It is just what it is. In any event, Canada's Canada. Everyone else is everyone else. And there's the deal. You got to just live your life wherever you live it, and whatever works, man. 143 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for coming through for us. It is much appreciated. And welcome to the party, everybody. It's great to have you joining us today. Hopefully you're finding it very profitable here to enjoy premium reductions on calls you've written, wonderful returns on iron condor spreads, credit spreads. Well done, everyone. lesson number 16 is waiting for you to learn some of the ins and outs of how this works. More power to you. I love the fact that you're all here and you've joined us. 181 of you are here. It's great to see you, and we'll see how things kind of work out. A lot of condors expiring today, tomorrow, and Friday around here. It's going to be a crazy day on Friday with the third Friday of the month. A lot of volatility expected. We're now up $1.10 on those spiders. SPYs are 143.99, going to 444. Looks like the Dow's climbing again, 128, 132. We seem to be climbing. We're up 10 now on S&P, and even the Nasdaq is green now. The market has been waiting for an excuse all day to go green. The first excuse, selling has run out. As soon as the selling dries up, up goes the market. Here we go. We're going higher again. That's the deal, guys. We're getting higher. We're going to go higher. Down 19 on oil. That's a good thing. Oil at 80.80 a barrel, just about to break $80. That would be nice. No problem there. Very good. Interesting session here. We're up 76 cents on the triple Qs. GameStop is down 20 at $19.13 with a low of 19.06 today. We've got Sofi at 838, up 2 cents on a volume of 3.9 million in 50 minutes. We're up to at 838. The high of the day 843. The low 821 on Sofi today. AI is up 6 cents. We've got Nvidia up 368 at 443.08. Rocket Lab down 1 penny. Matterport down 5.5. Smartland up 5 cents. Got Unity up 6. Tesla down just 35 cents. The low today on Tesla was 227. We're now 232. We've recovered $5 on Tesla here intra morning. Interesting to see that. We might have Tesla have an update today, which would be a good thing for a few viewers around here with Iron Condors. Apple up 89 cents. Google up 18. Moderna up down 26 to 96.15. Cisco down 16. Pfizer down a dime. IBM down 37 cents. HPQ down 26. Microsoft up 231. That's looking good. Microsoft at 323. It's near the high of the day. 323.79. We're 323.49. We're up 230 on Microsoft. The low was 319.80. We've turned it up and we're going higher on Microsoft. That is moving markets. Amazon just down 42 cents. It's coming on. Home Depot up 420. Vanik up 3 cents. Netflix down 83 cents, but climbing now after dipping to 420. We're at 422.88. Adobe up 445. Goldman down $1. Boeing up 89. Meta down 117. Target up 548. JP Morgan down 49 cents. Costco up 309. Walmart up 37. Disney down 46. American Airlines up a nickel. DraftKings down 54 to 27.79. There you have it. 128 gain on the Dow. We're climbing here. I think so. Looking okay. Spiders 443.86 trying to break through 444. Interesting numbers, interesting levels on these markets. The spiders low of the day today, 442.38, now 443.86. So come up $1.50 on those spiders and still looking greener. Dow now up 130, climbing again. Okay. All right. Yeehaw. There you go. Interesting markets, to say the least. GameStop's not doing so good, says Spicy. It's down, no doubt about it, making option writers happy because these contracts are backing up. Absolutely. If you've got 2025s or 2024s on GameStop, this is your opportunity. It is on a silver platter. You can buy contracts back for way less than you sold them for and move into closer in options. Absolutely. Spicy says, good. Now I need to write on it. Home Skillet. Cool. There you go. All righty. Fun times. Down a quarter on GameStop. 1908. AI 32.23 down 6. Will AI pop through 35 by the end of the week? Is the sell-off a little too much here? The stock's kind of stopped falling. It's kind of stopped. Will we have a bounce back to 35, 36 on AI, making cash secured put writers a fortune? Could be interesting. Very interesting the next 24, 48 hours. Indeed. All righty, kids. Well done, all. A nice job, everybody. Lots to follow. I have 146 on the thumbs up meter. If you're hitting that thumbs up meter, thank you again from me and Jennifer. We appreciate it so much. Every thumbs up is a blessing. We thank you. It's telling YouTube, send this guy more viewers. He's the real deal out there. That would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Thank you all for your support of Stock Markets with Bruce. It's appreciated. Here we go. Got 183 thumbs ups yesterday. I didn't even think we'd get to 175 the way it was going. The day before, on the 14th of August, we had 195 thumbs ups. We had 180 on the 11th of August. We had 146 only on August 10. And we had 181 on August 9, 184 on August 8. So we've been in this 170, 180 neighborhood for the thumbs ups meters. And those of you hitting the thumbs up, I do appreciate it. If we're able to get closer to 200, even better. 152 now have come through here as they're coming in. Home Skillet, neat emojis. Absolutely for AI. Absolutely right. White Feather, have a great day, Uncle Bruce, and everyone. See you on the primetime show tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Neat emojis must be put out to honor the Knights of Knee, to respect the Knights of Knee, to acknowledge the Knights of Knee, to make sure we don't get on their bad side. Definitely neat emoji time for sure. Thank you, all of you who are here to honor the Knights of Knee with the knee emojis. Very important that these get released and put out there. Well done. Each and every one of you, Condor writers, Condor creators, Knights of Knee will be there. Richard Carlin is there. Yes, sir. Neat. Option Nomads, neat. Larry Titus, thumbs ups, neat. Chase Rosita Parker, neat. Spicy Android, neat. John Anderson, neat. That's right. Knee emojis are coming out. We aren't kidding. Giddy up. Matthew, have a good day, folks. Enjoy your day, everybody. Make a ton of money out there. I love it. Thank you again, everybody. 154 thumbs ups and counting. They're coming in. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Love seeing those thumbs ups and those knee emojis. What a beautiful picture that makes on this channel. Lights up the chat bar. Oh, YouTube goes nuts in San Francisco, wondering what the heck is going on over there. That channel is lighting up. Why is that channel lighting up? Knee emoji attack. That's why. You don't have any idea how important it is. Boris is here. Nico is here. Karen is here. Neat. That's right. Don't mess with these people, folks. Oh, man, they're here to make money. They're here to take your money. Easy money being scooped up by option creators, writers, and Iron Condor players on this channel. The easy money is coming in. Keep it going, guys. Take it and take it and take it. Other people don't know what to do with their money. You know what to do with your money. Grab it, make it yours, and continue on. Pat Markley, how you doing, Pat? It's been a while since I've seen that name on here. Neat. TJ, neat. I'm here, Bruce. Thank you, TJ, and everybody for being here with us today. It's so appreciated. We love having you around, guys. You're absolutely wonderful. We're pushing 160 thumbs ups here. We're almost there. Giddy up, man. That is fantastic. Going for 160 and higher on the thumbs up meter. You rerunners out there, make sure to hit those thumbs ups for us, okay? Grand says Pat Markley, RV traveling, buddy. Oh, beautiful. That is awesome. Dude, neat. Thank you, dude. Beautiful, kids. Keep up the good work out there, you guys. Hit the road. Enjoying the hood life. Nice. DH, neat. It's all or good life. Nice going, Pat. Spicy. Should I wait to write on GameStop right now, or should I do 22s? Short-term 22s. Not too far out. Why not? Take some money off the table. Giddy up, kids. Giddy on up. 1902 on GameStop. 837 on Sofi. Unchanged. AI data quarter. 3204. The Dow's up 107 right now. Around and around this game goes. Manager, I'm number 159, buddy. Thank you, my friend. Home Skillet, GameStop earnings end of the month. Still got a ways to wait there. Yes, indeed. Gidge up. 160 on the thumbs up meter, going for 170 now. Fantastic, guys. The neat emoji attack had an effect, and here come thumbs ups after that. Thank you all. More people wondering in Frisco what is happening at that channel over there. The chat bar for that channel is extremely active compared to other channels. This guy is really drawing comments. What's going on? What's a knee emoji attack, man? That's what's going on. Must honor the Knights of the Knee. Indeed. 839 on GameStop. The high today, 843. That's where we're at here on SoFi. SoFi 843 is the high, and we're at 839 right now on SoFi. The volume on this stock today, 4.6 million, and it's up. Very light volume, and we're higher. That's right. Get 100 million shares of buying in here. This thing's up $2. Watch out. It can happen at any time. I would love to say it's happening today, but I can't tell you that. I don't know when it's going to happen. When it happens, it's going to happen. A TGT, is it going to hold? I don't know. I don't know. It's up today. That's for sure. It is up today. I'll give you that. TJ, hi, Bruce. Will you still be doing one-on-ones while in Europe? Yes, I will. You just need to send me emails what day you'd like to get together, or give me a couple of days. What times Eastern time would work for you, and I'll see how I can juggle it. I'll respond, and I'll say, how about this day, this time? We'll play it from there. Weekdays, weekends, so we'll figure it out. Manager, TGG is on my radar, says manager. There you go. Rock and roll. All right. Yeah, we did one-on-ones last year from Europe. I'll do one-on-ones this year from Europe for sure. Giddy up, all. Thank you all for popping in here. We have 160 official thumbs ups in the house. Thank you all for hitting the thumbs up button for us. 161 now. Here we go. Another one. 162. Another one. Thank you. What are your thoughts? Question coming in here. What are your thoughts on C3's unprofitable operations and their upcoming conference call? My thoughts are that they've changed from what was known as a subscription model for their software to a sales model, and they announced that 9 months ago, a while ago. And that has been accelerating. And then I'm led to believe from previous management discussions that their sales are projected to be higher. I've been led to believe that more prospective clients have approached them for AI software. And so I am under the impression, and I am under the long-term belief that their sales are going to rise dramatically at a much faster pace than ever indicated. They have a ton of cash on hand to stay in business for a long time. And I wouldn't be surprised if they become profitable fairly quickly. I just believe that they're battling right now a group of hedge funds that are shorting the stock, trying to suppress the company, and sponsoring all kinds of shills to badmouth the company. And I think it's going to backfire. I really do. I think that's going to be a huge mistake by these outfits, because the number of shares outstanding in free trading are less than 100 million. And I think that this stock could capture 40 to 60 million shares of volume per day going forward, and that will mean not enough paper to short, to borrow, and there'll be a squeeze. And I think the company will back up the higher price with higher sales, higher profits. That's my personal opinion on AI. It has been all along. Remember, this stock once traded at 150, 160 a share when they came public a few years ago. I think 100 a share is in the wheelhouse for this company. That's my personal opinion, though. Take it or leave it. So, yeah, I like it. What day does it pop $25 a share from here? I can't answer that question. I never can answer that question. But I wouldn't be on the short side of this thing. No way. JR, neat. Matthew, C3 is heavily shorted. Yeah. That's right, Matthew. You got it. It is heavily shorted, which means it is a powder keg. This thing can explode up at any time. I mean, up at any time. You bring in enough volume on this thing, the shorters can't stop it because they can't borrow enough stock to stop it from going higher. And once it starts breaking out of comfort zones, then the buying comes in from shorters who panic on the way in again. Watch out for that. Could be a ton of fun. Tons of funds, we like to say, on this one. 164 on the thumbs up meter. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your support of this channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for upgrading your subscription to Gold Bagel Level. See you tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Uncle Bruce Primetime Live tonight for Gold Bagel members. We're going to talk iron condors and everything else. Let me know how your trades are going. If you need any strategic work, we'll go from there as well. We'll talk about it all. Thank you, guys. Pat, thank you for being here today, buddy. It's good to see you. And keep the drive going, man. It's fantastic. You're out there. This is beautiful stuff. All right, kids. There it is. There's the story. I'm sticking to it. You can't shake me out of here. Let's follow this market going forward. And I just want you guys to get rich. It's so simple. Manager, I have shorted TGT. There you go, buddy. He's taking a run at him. Okay, everybody. We'll follow all these markets. We'll see you tonight, 6 o'clock. Otherwise, see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock for Gold Bagel members, 8:30 for all of you. Come on by and say hi, and let's see what's going on. In the meantime, from Calgary, it's Uncle Bruce saying, have a great day, everybody. Get rich out there, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thank you again. Bye for now.